Am I ruining my friend's wedding by not wanting to wear the new puke-colored dress the bride specifically picked out for me, even though all of the other bridesmaids get to wear the beautiful emerald-colored one that was picked out over a year ago? A few months ago, my 32F, good friends, 33M, Riley, fiancé, 33F, Sam asked me to be a bridesmaid. The bride-to-be and I have always been friendly but not very close. She never seemed very interested in getting to know our friend group despite repeated attempts, so I was pretty surprised when she asked me. Still, I agreed. The wedding is coming up in a few weeks, and while I'm more than happy to take part, I've been having some issues with the dress situation. The bridesmaid dress was picked out last year and the fittings were officially finished last month. Sam paid for everything. The plan was for all bridesmaids to wear the same exact dress. She really stressed that she wanted all of us to look identical. But, during brunch 2 weeks ago, she told me that I'll need to wear a different dress. Apparently, she decided that all of the bridesmaids should have a different look instead of looking identical. I thought it was a bit weird to change something like this so late in the game, but didn't really think much else of it. We agreed to a date/time for my fitting, and continued with brunch. Fast forward to the day of my fitting last week. The new dress was unexpected. While the old dress was a cuffed-off-the-shoulder emerald green dress with a high slit and was fairly form-fitting, this new dress was giving elevated muumuu. It was shapeless and long-sleeved, and was what I can only call vomit green. Regardless, I agreed to wear the dress, thinking at least the other bridesmaids would join me in my suffering. 2 days ago, during dinner with one of the bridesmaids, I asked if she's already seen her new dress. She looked confused, and asked me what I was talking about. I reiterated what Sam said during brunch, and she looked even more confused, and told me that she hasn't heard anything about getting a new dress. This is when a few alarm bells started going off. Later that night, I texted all of the other bridesmaids asking if they'd been told anything about getting new dresses, and they all said no. I once again reiterated what Sam told me during brunch, and they agreed that the situation was starting to look a bit sus. One of them suggested that it may just be a misunderstanding. I didn't understand how it could be a misunderstanding, but decided to speak with Sam again anyways. I called Sam yesterday, and after some generic chit-chat, I asked her why she hasn't told any of the other bridesmaids that they're getting new dresses. Long silence. So much so that I thought the call disconnected. She then told me that she made a last-minute decision not to get everyone different dresses, but I'd still be wearing a different dress because she already bought it. She already bought the old dress too, so this reasoning made zero sense. I tried to reason with her by mentioning how strange it would look for one bridesmaids to look completely different from the others, and would draw unnecessary attention, but she said she didn't mind. She then rushed to get off the phone, and basically hung up on me. Later that day, I texted her to tell her that I didn't feel comfortable wearing that dress, and I kind of felt like she's picking on me for some reason. Haven't received a response yet. Part of me feels like I'm being a bit dramatic, but another part of me feels like singling me out for no reason. I don't want to cause any drama or stress, but I also don't want to feel uncomfortable at the wedding. So, am I a jerk here? Commenter, she jelly girl. Do not participate in the wedding if she is going to be such an You should tell your friend because that is BS all around. Update 1. Didn't think I'd have an update so soon, but here we are. I spoke with Riley over the phone last night, and explained the entire dress situation. He seemed more disappointed than surprised, which caught me off guard, and was pissed on my behalf. He then told me what he believes is the reason behind Sam's newfound hostility towards me. Last month while he and Sam were having dinner with his family, his mother let it slip that Riley and I kinda went on a date a while ago. To be clear, we did not actually date. We went on a double date with a friend and a girl he was into because he was so nervous. I never even counted it as a real date because Riley and I were just there to make our friend more comfortable. There has never been anything even remotely romantic between us. Also, keep in mind that this happened almost 12 years ago. I had honestly completely forgotten about it. Riley said that he explained everything to Sam to drive home the fact that it wasn't a real date, but she was fixated on him not telling her about it until now. She said that if it was truly not a real date and if he really didn't have any feelings for me, then he would have already told her about it. Things were tense for a few days, but they later apologized to each other, him for not saying anything and her for overreacting, so he thought that the issue was resolved. That seems to not be the case. Anywho, Riley plans on speaking with her tonight, so we'll see what comes of that. Regardless, I don't think it makes sense for me to continue to be a bridesmaid, even if I'm allowed to wear the original dress. Hoping everything works out. Commenter, wow. That is super unhinged. It's a huge red flag. I agree that you probably should step out of the wedding party. Commenter 2. Well, it seems he has bigger issues to resolve now than handling the dress situation. He's marrying the mental one. That girl is unhinged, getting mad at something that wasn't even a date that happened 12 years ago. I would say, if this wedding happens, just go as a guest. Update 2. I have another quick update. Things don't seem to be going well. This afternoon, Riley asked me if he could stay at my place for a few days, until he has to travel for work later this week. Of course I said yes, but asked why he wants to stay with me. He literally lives 30 minutes away. He said that he doesn't want to talk about it right now, so I backed off. He's currently holed up in one of my guest rooms, and hasn't come out in hours. I am worried. Commenter, he's seeing his GF for who she really is. Also, have you considered that Riley may have always had feelings for you, and that's what's making her so mad? I'm sure someone already mentioned this in the comments on the other update, but I am playing catch up. Commenter 2, this is a Sam problem. Not a you problem. Riley should know who he is marrying. Some people are just jealous of everything. But you occupy a lot of rent-free space in Sam's mind. Because she is a jellyfish. Update 3. This afternoon, while Riley and I were at work, I received a call from the security desk of my residential community. Someone was there, claiming that they're my guest, but they didn't have a code and their name wasn't on the visitors list. It was Sam. I told security to deny her entry, which they did. Not even a minute later, Sam called me, but I didn't pick up. She called me thrice before I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and then 4 more times after I did. She then sent a text saying you were causing misunderstandings. You need to send him back today. I'm home, but Riley is still at work. Haven't told him anything yet, don't want to stress him out while he's working, but will after he returns to my place. Also, haven't tried to contact Sam, and I don't plan on doing so anytime soon. Really don't foresee any convos between us going well right now. Random kind of funny thing to note, since yesterday, Sam has been removing me from the bridesmaid group chat, but the other bridesmaids keep re-adding me after noticing that I'm missing. This has happened 5 times. Commenter, how is Op causing misunderstandings? Sam has done all of this on her own. All the Op did was ask the bridesmaids if their dresses changed and informed the groom. Seriously, what the fudge did she think was going to happen when his close friend walked down the aisle in that monstrosity and no one else did? He'd have known what was happening and why, and he'd have been pissed. Update 4. Last night, after Riley returned to my place after work, I told him everything regarding Sam trying to come to my house, and showed him the text message and missed calls. He was pissed. I have never seen him so angry in all my years knowing him. He was completely silent but looked like he was 2 seconds from setting someone on fire. After letting him cool down for a bit, I asked him if he wanted to talk. He did. He told me that they always seem to argue about the same things. Then, she'd pretend to understand and be all right with everything only to bring it up again in the future. A few examples of the main things she'd say/bring up. Our friend group is toxic and too close. Riley should be thankful to her for keeping his drug habit a secret. A while ago, he mentioned to her that he smoked weed multiple times in uni. He's too secretive about work, and I know more about his job than she does. We're both feds who work in Intel, and our offices sometimes liaise with each other. He spends too much time with his family. He'd suggested couples counseling a few times, but she kept on refusing. They'd been doing pretty well for the past year or so and didn't argue much anymore, so he stopped grinding it up. Apparently, the absolute last straw happened the day he asked me to stay at my place. During the argument with Sam that led to this, initially regarding the dress debacle but snowballing into other topics, in addition to trying to get him to cut me out of his life, she also called me the N-word. I'm black BTW and Riley and Sam are white. According to Riley, that's when he knew that he was 100% done. Before he left, he told Sam that their relationship's over. Since then, she's been blowing up his phone, but he said he hasn't read any of her messages or answered her calls. She also sent him emails, which he has also ignored. He's going to tell his family and our friend group before he leaves for his work trip this week. I encouraged him to consider doing so sooner rather than later before Sam has a chance to try to stir things up. Also, when he returns from the trip, he plans on going back to his place to get his ring back from Sam, and tell her that she needs to find a new place to live. The house is his. We spent the rest of the night, and part of the early morning, eating leftovers and cookie dough, working our way through some Moscow mules, and watching Monty Python. It'll take some time, but I know he's going to be fine. Thank you, my dearest potatoes, for all of your insight, advice, and kind words. Love this community. Update 5. Hello, my potato peeps, it's been a hot minute. I'll dive right in. Apologies if this is scatterbrained. I've been stuck at an airport for 35 hours and haven't slept at all. I was able to convince Riley to tell his immediate family and our core friend group about the Sam situation before his work trip, as opposed to after. Specifically, he told them that he and Sam are broken up and there won't be a wedding, that they broke up on bad terms, and that everyone should take anything Sam may tell them with a grain of salt. He wasn't ready to tell them absolutely everything, just the important bits. Everyone was shocked, except for Riley's mom. More on that later. I was also able to convince Riley to not let Sam stay in his home while he was on his work trip. Before he left, took the ring back, had her pack enough items to last her for the duration of his trip, and told her she could get the rest of her things after the trip. His mother was there with him when he told this to Sam just in case it went down, but Sam took it surprisingly, suspiciously, well. No one really trusted her calm reaction, so Riley had all of the locks changed before his trip. Not even 12 hours after Riley left, Sam started blowing up my email. I blocked her number, which I guess she realized. Within the span of 24 hours, she sent me exactly 33 emails. Most were about me being evil, a cunt, a slut, low class, and a homewrecker. Some included pics of me and Riley, with varying captions like "should have known you wanted him all along," "I can tell you've always wanted to screw him," etc., and a few of them were just her begging me to let her have Riley back. Felt like I was getting whiplash. I didn't block her because honestly I was curious about how much Should would incriminate herself. She ended up sending me a total of about 60 emails. Fast forward to a few days before Riley returned from his trip. I was having lunch with his mom, and the topic of Sam came up. Potatoes, remember when I said that Riley's mother wasn't surprised when he told her about the Sam situation? That's because she wasn't. Apparently, she's always felt that something was kinda amiss with Sam, but she never really had anything concrete to tell anyone about and didn't want to seem dramatic, especially because Riley is aware that his mom and Sam never really clicked. Few things she brought up. On multiple occasions, she noticed Sam giving me dirty looks for seemingly no reason. Sam would sometimes try to change the subject when I was mentioned, and has jokingly mentioned that she hopes I start dating someone soon so she could spend more time with Riley. Sam has made some offhand comments that maybe weren't explicitly racist, but rubbed people the wrong way. For example, she mentioned not wanting to get food poisoning from eating at ethnic restaurants. At this point, I was wondering how I never noticed anything. The next day, as I was leaving work, one of the security guards on the base told me that he turned away a car that morning that was trying to get on base because the driver had none of the required credentials, and refused to go to the visitor center. The driver asked for me by name, and refused to move until she was threatened with detainment. It was Sam. At this point, I was done. I spoke with my security POC that same day, and reported her. A report was filed, and I took that report to Sam's work, and gave it to HR. The following day, I got another angry email from Sam telling me that, because of me, her upcoming promotion had been put on hold. I slept extra peacefully that night. Fast forward to the day Riley returned, the first thing he said as soon as he walked through the door was that he may need a lawyer soon. He told me that a friend of Sam had informed him that Sam is trying to figure out how to file a marriage certificate without Riley knowing. Apparently, she thought she could just forge Riley's signature as well as the officiant's signature, and then file it at the circuit court. I'm pretty sure that's not even possible. What the actual fudge? After that, a few things happened in rapid succession. Riley retained a lawyer, who sent a letter to Sam informing her that what she tried to do was illegal, and legal action would be taken against her if she tried to file the marriage certificate. Sam refused to retrieve the rest of her things until Riley threatened to give everything away. She eventually took all of her stuff, as well as some things that weren't hers, mostly some random framed pictures. Riley has since got them back. Our entire friend group and Riley's family have blocked Sam on everything. I showed Riley the email Sam sent and told him about how she showed up at my job, and he tried to convince me to at least consider getting a restraining order if possible. I haven't tried yet, but I'm holding on to the emails just in case. Sam got a DWI and spent a night in jail. Sam got fired from her job. As of last week, things have been pretty calm. No one has heard from Sam lately, which we're all quite happy about, but we're still keeping our eyes peeled just in case. Riley is still having a hard time, but he's getting better. He's eating pretty normally now, and has resumed participating in group hangs with our main friend group. Looking forward to the day Sam is a distant memory.